Magical tears, a talking book of love, and a whole host of creatures hellbent on killing you. Hey there friends, it's Kodiak here, one half of the team behind Legacy Gaming, and today we're diving in and checking out It Takes Two, a wildly unique co-op adventure game to determine if it's truly worth your time. Thanks to EA Game Changers for providing us with a review copy of It Takes Two. To learn more about the game, go to EA.com and search It Takes Two. When it comes to co-op adventure games, there is no team doing more for the genre than Hazelight Studios and Josef Fares, the mind behind incredible games like Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, A Way Out, and now It Takes Two. When you think of video games, you don't often think of new experiences. Usually you bop around from one game to another, and sure, sometimes a new mechanic or element of a game will surprise you. But to find a game that's truly unique and different in 2021, not just a rehash of something that's already been released, is incredibly rare. That's why when It Takes Two popped up on our radars, Livid and I knew that this was a game we had to check out. This is not your everyday co-op adventure, and as a channel run by two people, it was the perfect opportunity for us to roll up our sleeves, solve some puzzles, and of course defeat some bosses together. Hazelight puts storytelling first, and from the very first moments of the game, you know that's exactly what you're about to experience. A story-driven adventure filled with wild characters and wacky moments, made even better by the wonderful worlds we were exploring. Without spoiling any of the major story points, you play as Cody and May, a couple on the verge of divorce, trying to figure out how to tell their daughter Rose that sometimes people just grow apart. One thing leads to another, and through the power of some magical tears, you're shrunk down to the size of a toy and are at the mercy of a ridiculous talking book of love, Dr. Hakim.
I'm Dr. Hakim, worldwide bestseller and an expert on love.
At this point, the adventure truly begins, and I can honestly say from start to finish, every single second of this game was enjoyable. Things start out slow as you get the feel for the controls and some of the basic co-op elements of the game. But just when you think you've gotten a handle on things, the game throws you a curveball and completely changes up the rhythm. Nothing is wildly hard, but some things require you to think outside the box, or just take a second to ponder over before you come to any major conclusions. Each new chapter introduces a new mechanic or two that allows the developers to change up the level design, introducing new elements that now become the centerpiece of that particular part of the adventure. And if you think I'm joking about new mechanics, think again. Over the course of the game, there are 18 core abilities you experience, in addition to over 10 level-specific mechanics. Needless to say, you don't ever get a chance to get bored of any one ability before the game completely changes it up. For example, early on, Cody will have access to some magical nails, while May will have access to a talking hammerhead. Each player will have a different role throughout the level, with Cody using nails to hit switches and create grapple points for May, who's tasked with reaching certain areas, and also, you know, hammering.
Oh, you can stop it! Get out of here!
This playful duality of mechanics continues to evolve with each new level, and while I don't want to spoil anything for people that are interested in checking out the game, just know that the experience never gets dull, and just when you think the game is going to get stagnant, the devs throw away the rulebook and start over. It Takes Two is built on the idea that anything is possible. Livid and I joked around quite a bit during our playthrough that the pitch meetings for the various levels and concepts must have been absolutely absurd. At one point, I was playing the role of some creeping moss. I would move in tandem with Livid to silence his footsteps as he was sneaking past some sleeping moles. Like, who in a pitch meeting goes, "Alright, one of the main characters is going to turn into grass"? It's just crazy and unique, and these clever moments just keep on coming, and they're set in these elaborate worlds that are so fantastical it's like stepping into a storybook. Because the game is already changing perspectives, the team creating It Takes Two wasn't limited in their design of the various worlds. And oh boy, the worlds are incredible. Without giving away every surprise, just imagine exploring a Gothic village, a quaint Bavarian ski town, a Jurassic temple, a magic castle. The list goes on and on. Each area is tailored to the mechanics you have as players. You won't find any cookie-cutter layouts, repetitive elements. It's all custom built to give the player a new experience every step of the way. You'll also experience multiple perspective shifts, and verticality is often a centerpiece of the level design. It's a never-ending buffet of creativity, and jam-packed into each zone are little moments that will captivate you without having any impact on the actual story. They're just there to entertain. Maybe it's in the form of a fun Easter egg that calls back to an item or moment straight from your childhood, such as the toy that is a clear throwback to the crocodile dentist, or a series of barnyard books teaching kids about animal sounds. It could also be one of the whopping 25 fully developed minigames hidden in the levels that give you a chance to test your skills against your co-op companion, permanently unlocking them for later enjoyment at any time with your friends. Whatever thing you come across, it's delightful, nonsensical, and it's all incredible. In our opinion, one of the best things about It Takes Two is the fact that only one person needs to own the game for two players to enjoy it. It's a co-op experience, and it's clear that the developers didn't want that to be a barrier to entry. As long as the host, player 1, owns the game, a second player can tag along for free, be it online or in couch co-op mode. The only catch is that the second player needs to be on the same platform. PlayStation players can only play with other PlayStation players, PC people with other PC people. You get where I'm going here. Still, this is incredible news for anyone that's just looking for a new video game experience and is definitely a highlight. Talk about accessibility, we were also wildly impressed with how responsive the controls were in the game. Whether you're running, jumping, dodging, or using the zone-specific mechanics, everything is snappy and intuitive. Because so much of your time is spent maneuvering around these wonderful worlds, having well-tuned controls is absolutely essential, and the game nails it. It Takes Two also has a wonderful way of changing perspectives when you least expect it. For the most part, you'll play the game from a third-person perspective, but occasionally, things will take a turn and you'll have to maneuver through a section of the game as if it were a side-scroller or top-down ARPG. It's these little moments that truly captivated us while we were playing the game, and the seamless transitions between perspectives just reinforces the fact that It Takes Two is a thing of beauty. Just when you think you've figured out the game, It Takes Two is always ready with a new surprise. By slowly introducing new mechanics, the developers are able to constantly create new experiences, and the co-op nature of the game opens the door to some of the most enjoyable gameplay Livin and I have ever experienced. It's easy to appreciate everything this game brings to the table because you can tell that from top to bottom, It Takes Two is a labor of love. Josef Fares, who turned from filmmaker to video game creator, has said that his creations are more than just games, they're cinematic experiences. And that's really the last facet of this review, the story. Your journey as May and Cody has a predictable conclusion, but how you arrive at that ending is a wild ride of twists and turns. I found myself easily connecting with my little Clay character and riding the emotional waves as they wafted over me. The highs, the lows, the life lessons, it's all there for you to enjoy without it ever dominating the player experience. Cinematic moments connect through beautifully voice-acted cutscenes, incredible animations, and a story that is just wonderfully simple while also being incredibly deep. When I say It Takes Two is a game that's enjoyable from start to finish, I absolutely mean it. The story is compelling, with superb writing and masterful voice acting. The gameplay is unique and engaging, offering something truly different in an era where games all just seem to blend together. And the overall experience, from the massive large-scale level design to the tiny, intricate details, is just magnificent. It Takes Two isn't just a co-op masterpiece. It's a video game I think will go down in history as one of the most innovating, enjoyable, and downright fun. And if you haven't figured it out at this point, It Takes Two is definitely worth your time. Look, you don't need to take our word for it. This game will not disappoint. In fact, Josef Fares, the creator of the game, is so confident that you'll enjoy It Takes Two that he recently said he'd give $1,000 to anyone who got tired of the experience. It Takes Two is a love letter to games past and present, and an adventure I'm not soon to forget. Keep an eye on this one because I guarantee you it'll be a contender for Game of the Year. So for around $40, what are you getting? It Takes Two is a marvel of co-op adventures that thrusts two players into a wildly creative world, introduces them to unique gameplay mechanics, and unfolds a story so wild it's impossible to break down in a simple review. It's a game that's surprising from start to finish, and no matter your age or skill level, the developers have managed to make a game truly accessible to everyone just looking to have a good time. We hope this video helped you figure out if It Takes Two is worth your time. If you enjoy this series and want more worth your time videos in your feed, go ahead and hit that thumbs up and consider subscribing to Legacy Gaming. If you choose to pick it up, we'd love to hear your thoughts on the game, either in the comments below or head on over to our Discord. Our community of over 6,000 members is spread across dozens of fantastic games, so if you're looking for some awesome people to hang out with and want to stay up to date with all of our videos, consider becoming part of the Legacy. My name is Kodiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.